Can people hear us? Great. So I believe this discussion is more like a T20 match, 30 minutes. So quickly the rules. What we'll do is we'll try to cover one topic on the dais very quickly with quick comments from all the panelists, and then we'll be periodically throwing open the floor for questions. So I thought I'll, without wasting any time, I thought I'll just start off by throwing open the first issue to the panel. Basically, if we can start talking about the fee-based model. And before that, I wanted to ask everybody that whether, what according to you are the emerging needs of people who are in your target group? Is it, what are they exactly looking for? And do you think they are going to, there are people who are willing to pay fees for expertise? Maybe we can start with Mr. Agarwal.
I think before we get into the fees and all, so I would say that if you look at the family office concept in India, it's mostly focused on wealth management. So I would say that, and it is mostly either multi-families offices or you have as private bankers. Now what we believe is we need to have some concept like the need of the day is having something like manager of managers who would supervise the various investment bankers or various private bankers who manage, each one of them manage an asset class. Because if you have a manager of managers, then it will help in streamlining investment processes, defining risk policies, helping setting up investment committees. It will also help in defining what is the role and responsibility of the family members in the investment processes. And they can put a proper governance structure, they can define what is the due diligence process. I think the need of the day is having a manager of managers. I think that would be an emerging need of family office.
Mr. Kapadi, do you think that the clients that you come across, do you think they're well aware of what a family office is supposed to do? Are people getting to know that it's not just about multiplying your money and there are other things, other issues?
I think, the concept of family office as it prevails in India and the way it's understood abroad, vast differences. I think in India it's, I would say, still in the evolution stage. A lot of new wealth that has got created in recent time is getting managed under the so-called family office structure, but that will keep evolving as time goes on. I think there's a minimum order size to a profitable family office. So just now you're probably seeing the need to have a single point contact in large families within their own structure when it comes to managing investments and so on and so forth. Coming back to the need aspect, I think at Avendus we are following a very simple approach, which is how can you be relevant to clients, right? And therefore pricing of your proposition has to be something in line with what clients want. If a client wants a fee-based structure, you have to give it to him. If he wants a structure where your interests are aligned with his in terms of performance, you have to give it to him, right? So I don't think there is a one size fits all. I think you need to customize very clearly because the environment has changed radically, right? We are now in the 6th year of the financial crisis, right? And we are all reinventing ourselves, the way we do our businesses, what clients expect from us, and very, very clearly you have to be driven by what clients want.
Now, Mr. Ayub, what's your take on this? And do you think people are, do you find people who are willing to pay fees?
Yeah, again, so I agree with what Nikhil said. I think it's a very important point in terms of relevance. I would add two more words to that, which we really believe in Kotak, which is depth and breadth. Depth, breadth, and relevance. I think these are the three, cornerstones for family office to exist, whether it is in, it's outside India or within India. I think, and as Nikhil rightly said, it is a very evolving kind of a structure. It will evolve. and it's very unfortunate, but I have to say this as well, is that the whole expectation of a client today is again cyclical, if you have, if lack of a better word. I'm just taking an investment word out, but why cyclical is again to do with the environment. And I think the heart of the entire family office is to conserve wealth and grow that wealth over a period of time. So obviously it all starts from there. So as such, the expectation from the client is also revolving around that, because it also tends to get a little affected by the environment, by the other constraints, and each individual have their own kind of constraints in terms of that environment in which they live. So I would say that relevance is a very important word which I take from there, and the fee model will revolve around that. Some people are okay with, we actually see a lot of professionals pretty much okay, looking at a fee structure which is somewhere, which is as a percentage of AUM. And but a lot many others want something which is a very, very fixed oriented structure, because I think also the challenge has been for us as family office advisors in terms of growing wealth, really show them the path. So if people were to ask me, say 10 years back, as to what is a path that you see, whether it is in any asset class for that matter, I would be able to show them a path. But today that certainty is not there. There's a lot of uncertainty. So towards that, they are also a little not very keen to share in terms of when it comes to fee. So I would say, it's a very evolving structure. Probably when people make money, when they actually see the other two things which I said, the depth in terms of whatever you do, I think that is something that India and Indian family offices need to focus. There are a lot of family offices which are emerging, boutique, non-boutique, corporate-based, institution-based, whatever form we can talk about. But I think they need to seriously think about the depth in terms of whatever they advise or whatever they do. And of course the breadth. I think today breadth is also something which is very important, because the breadth of services, we already have a benchmark as in Europe and US in terms of the kind of services which are provided, which could be investment, which could be non-investment based. So breadth is, I think, also equally important. Then of course the fee part comes in. So if you have both of these, and if you have the environment a little bit more friendlier, going forward, I think it's the right mix.
Mr. Saluja, what has been your experience, regarding some of the things about breadth and depth that has just been discussed, and also this whole thing about fee-based model? What's your take on that?
Right. So market is clearly evolving. Many clients who have that kind of net worth and who probably require family offices or family office service, they themselves are not aware of what's the value that a family office can bring in, or what are the various options, especially related to things that have been said already, related to succession planning, family governance, creation of trust, etc. So it's also new to them. It's evolving, and as in for many other service providers offer this service, there will be that evolution. For people who are offering the service, it's about finding the right business model. Because, if you were to say what is a dream family office, a dream family office from a client's point of view would be something where the interest of the family office is fully aligned. For example, a pure fee-based service where there's no execution, where you execute through third party, but you take a fee. And a dream family office from a service provider would be something that is commercially viable. And in this current environment, everyone's sort of groping to find out what's the perfect model, what's the cost of acquiring a client, and therefore, what should be the charge that we should put forward to a family office. There are enough and more opportunities, needs are there. It'll take about 5-10 years to evolve. Having said that, there are enough and more successful multifamily offices that are running. And I think from our experience in ASK, when we started fee-based service in 2007, even a segment which was non-family office was willing to pay a fee if we found value. Similarly, we found with ultra HNI segment, if you are able to show value, they're willing to pay a fee. And I was quite surprised to see many clients who are willing to pay fee only, where they don't want any execution done through ASK. So pay a fee, execute, show them value in terms of cost save, show them value in terms of performance reporting. And that's a big point. Till date, I think because it's evolving, clients still believe that the family office should deliver investment performance. And that's really where the challenge lies. It's not just risk management and due diligence and administrative work, because there are various family office models. You can either have just a pure administrative model where you're doing all the reporting and accounting and bookkeeping, or you can have a hybrid model where you have your core strengths, which is either wealth management or investment banking or whatever else, and outsource the non-core functions. Or then you have a fully integrated model. So we are far away from fully integrated model given the whole cost of this operation. But over a period of time, I see that also happening, which is true of today's single family offices.
Okay. So if this discussion is a T20, now time for a power play. So would anybody in the audience would like to ask some questions to the panel at this juncture? Is a mic possible? A mic? Okay.
Where do you draw the line between a family office and a private bank?
You want to
I
start
think
it?
that's what Rajesh just mentioned. I think obviously alignment of interest is a very key thing, and obviously what he said was precise in the sense that I give advice and leave the execution, and I think which is where the regulator is also going towards, that form, wherein if you're an investment advisor, you basically have an execution team which is completely separate. So I think that's where we are evolving towards, and I think over a period of time, that alignment in its full form India will have to see.
So family office will be more holistic, will be more comprehensive, where as a family office I need to have the entire view of the client's wealth. As in the earlier sessions, clients who go for 2 family offices or 3 family offices are doing nothing but offering, giving their money to 3 wealth managers. There's no concept of having 3 family offices and 4 family offices for a single family. So family office has to have full knowledge, it has to be comprehensive, decision making is holistic, while a private bank or wealth manager may get a myopic view or a small part of his allocation. Secondly, family offices are meant to look at other issues, global taxation, domestic taxation, succession planning, trust. So you really have to become a part of that family, understand their business and get to know their family members. So it requires a lot of time and effort. It's not a very scalable model if you want to do it right. Unless you go for models which are hybrid or where you are positioning yourself as a wealth manager more than a true family office. So key difference is holistic versus myopic and other issues related to the family as compared to just investment management.
Mr. Kabadi, you would want to add something to that?
Yeah, I think, it's just to take off from where Rajesh left off. I think the family office typically pertains to a group of people or a person in the employment of the family, right? So that person is given a charter as to what can be done, what cannot be done. For example, I won't call it a family office that we manage, but for this large family, they're very clear that they just want wealth preservation. So they will not look at any innovative ideas when it comes to certain product opportunities. They're very clear, right? And people get measured by those metrics. So a family office guy is effectively going to be on the employment or on the payroll of the family in question, and his job will perhaps be to try and work with the private banker, right, in terms of what best suits his customer or his employer.
Okay, any more questions? Oh, great.
One of the speakers rightly mentioned that in India, we see that business houses have multiple entities, 780 companies for every business that they carry on. And consolidation and restructuring would form an important part. So whether a family office has any role to play in that, or that is expected to be done before the family comes to a family office for its wealth management part.
Right. So as a model, depending on what the family office offers and what's its core expertise. If its core expertise is investment management, then it works with experts who can offer that service. So be it taxation, be it restructuring of companies, be it trust formation, it works with various experts and brings them to the table. So,